welcome back. And this week we are talking about something that like I can't even explain. I'm so excited to be talking about this. And it is the 35O palette from Morphe. And let me just show you why it's so exciting. Yeah, pretty much. That's okay, enough said. Done. Over. Okay, no, so anyways, so Morphe is a brand that I feel like is like just kind of up and coming, especially like in the YouTube world, like within the last year. I feel like I started hearing a ton about it, and what they're known for is just really affordable brushes and makeup, and in particular these large 35 shade palettes. I have another one I think I showed you guys in one of my favorites videos. I think I had the, oh, if I can get it open, I had the 35T palette, which is this one, and I told you guys I loved that one, and that I really liked it. But the 35O palette is one that has been like crazy popular. You probably could search 35O palette from Morphe on YouTube and find like a million videos on it because it's very, very popular. Mostly because of Jaclyn Hill. Jaclyn Hill talked about it and everybody has like raved about it. So basically it's made it like impossible to get because every time they put it on, it sells out within like hours. And so like I think it was probably like a week or two ago, I finally like got there in time. I finally ordered it like when they had it in stock, and like literally within hours I had a friend come over and she was like, I'm gonna order that too, and she got on and it was on the top of the page and she could have ordered it, but she like wanted to look at a couple other palettes and just make sure that that was the one she wanted to get, and by the time she went back to like say yes she was gonna order this one, it was sold out. So like within a couple minutes. I mean, well, and obviously it had been there like most of the day, but still like that's how fast this palette has sold out, which I mean it's for good reason. If you look at this, this is like a very neutral palette aside from a couple of the bright orange colors. This is a very wearable and like awesome palette, and the colors, or I guess the pigmentation and the quality of the shadows is really like good as well. However, I have to be honest, there are a couple shades in here that I was a little bit disappointed in, just because you hear it like raved about so much and you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be perfect, every shadow is gonna be amazing. And there was a couple ones where I was just like, okay, that one like is kind of chalky, or that one is kind of not as pigmented as I feel like it should be. But overall, this is an amazing palette. And I will insert some swatches of all of them. And that's what I'm wearing today. I tried to film me putting it on today so I can show you kind of what the look I got today was from this palette. But as you can see, it's pretty like neutral. You can go like high glam with it, or you can go very like simple and like not really like noticeable at all, kind of depending on which shades you use. And the thing that I really like about this palette as compared to the 35T is there's some more like lighter shades here. Like you can see that there's some really light shades. Okay, this shade too. Those shades just are better for fair-skinned girls like me. So you can use it to highlight your brow bone or your inner corner, or even put it on the lid and it doesn't look really dark on you. Whereas like these other shades in the other palette, I think there's only like 2 or 3 colors that I can really like say are like light. At least for me. On some people with like more olive skin or darker skin, then there's probably a lot more shades in there that would come across as light. But anyways, really not a big deal. That's what I like about this, is there's a wide range of like really light to really dark and intense. And there's a couple, okay, mainly let's just talk about this shade right here, because I don't even know how to explain it. That's kind of part of it too. It's like, so this one, okay, barely even touched it, and like just look at that. And it's almost has like a creamy consistency. I don't really know how to explain it, but it almost feels like a cream shadow, but it's a powder. Okay, but that's like literally the only one in this whole entire palette that feels like that. A lot of the other ones, they're really nice, but they don't have that same feel. And it's kind of like strange. So you're thinking, well, obviously they can make shadows that are that amazing and really cool and like unique, but then the other ones are just kind of like average. I don't really know. So I guess overall I'm really happy with this palette. Obviously, like I've been waiting to get my hands on this for so long. I'm super excited about it. I've been wearing it like every day since I got it. But yeah, there's a couple that I would say like it's not gonna be like the most perfect palette. I don't think there is gonna be a palette out there that's just like perfection in everything that you do. But considering that this is a $22 palette, you get 35 shades, and you can do like so many different looks with it. I think it's totally worth it. You know, there are some other really good palettes out there, but you're not gonna pay $22 for those, and you're gonna get less shadows. So, you know, Urban Decay, like those are really nice shadows. Lorac has amazing ones, and those are definitely like, I would say, worth it. But they're like, when you have this available to you, I feel like it's maybe more worth it. And especially if you're beginning with makeup and you don't really like know what colors suit you or what you like, I would say go more towards something that's less expensive and see like how those work for you and work your way up, because then you don't like feel like you're out a ton of money for spending, you know, whatever. So anyways, love this palette. I'm super excited to finally have it. There was that one that was really a good standout. Let's see, let me swatch a couple other ones on camera for you. Let's see. This is another really good one. This one's close to the texture of this one, but it's not quite. So like just barely there, like barely touched it. I'll show you there. And then, yeah, hello. Oh, those would be really pretty together. I don't know how I would do that, but okay, let's see. This other one down here, like this orangey, rusty colored one, kind of the same thing. Like these are probably the 3 that have like the most intensity in terms of the shade, and those are the metallic ones. The ones that I think have some more like trouble are the matte ones. And I'll show you that. This is honestly like the main one. And actually what I discovered is like, okay, this, like I touched it the same amount that I did the other ones, and I got way less product. And it swatches just a lot more like patchy and not as like opaque. But I guess once I kind of layered it and I did a couple more when I was doing my earlier swatches and I took pictures, it did actually turn out to be okay. So I think, you know, it kind of just depends. Some of them you're gonna have to work a little bit more to blend and get the right look, whereas others you're gonna like just barely touch it and you're gonna use your finger to put it on your eye. It's gonna look amazing. So yeah, and then there's this other one. Okay, this one was really interesting. This one right here. It's shimmery, and it kind of has like a peachy beige look to it. Like when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's a pretty peachy beige shimmer. And then you look at it and it's right here. I don't know, it might be kind of hard for you guys to see. But there's like some like magenta, pink, like holographic type color in it. So it makes it look a lot peachier and orange. I don't even know. It's really interesting, but it's not like super intense. You wouldn't get the intensity out of that. You'd have to layer that a lot. And I don't think it would really, like the holographicness really would show up very much, but I don't know. Anyways, there's some really cool shades in here. Yeah, I don't know how often I'll be wearing, like, you know, these really bright orange red colors, but I think it's pretty awesome. And I've been like so excited about it. I was asking Jacob the other day, I was like, well, what should I do for my video this week? And he was like, well, you better do a video about that Morphe palette because you have been raving on about it and you've been wanting it for forever. And if you don't do a video, then I'm going to be mad at you. And he was like kind of telling me that I didn't really have a choice, which I'm not really complaining because I really do love this and I'm really excited about it. So anyways, overall, I would definitely recommend this palette. And any of the other ones, they have like the 35T, they have a 35K, which is the coffee one. That's the next one on the list. And that one is kind of similar to 35O, but it has more of a range between like warm and cool browns and blacks, and like there's some gray in there as well, whereas this palette is much more like focused on the warm colors, warm tones of brown and neutral shades. What else? They have a 35 neutral palette, and that one, again, it's a range of neutral colors. The kind of, they have, I think there might be a couple more like bright colors in that one though. Like there might be some pinks and I can't really quite remember. And then also, if you do go to the Morphe website, check out their brushes. I was able to get some brushes for Christmas that I love using. They're the blue ones I always use. They came in a set. I think they have they're green on their website now. But those ones are awesome, and I know I've heard like rave reviews about all of their other brushes too, and they're all really affordable, which is like, that's pretty much the key to life. Like if it's affordable, that makes it way better. So anyways, yes guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you're ever able to get your hands on one of these palettes and tell me how you like it. And oh my gosh, next week's video, guys, I'm really excited for that, so stay tuned. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you can see the awesome video I have for you next week, and we'll see you next time, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye!